Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Mondef, of course, and I am on my Feed the Beast survival single player world, and I am in my industrial city area. I'm in my Mistcraft world here. And last time we found this world, we found this area, and we decided that the first thing we need to build is a generator room, a power plant, that's the words. So we need to get working on that today. You may notice since last time I have some armor now because I died and we built that grave. So I think I'm going to put the power plant right here. At least we'll start the power plant here. It's pretty centralized to this out branchy area, so we'll start building a basic power plant here. And I'm sure it'll need to be extended, and I just want to make sure this is on a... Yeah, okay, we're not on any cheese stand. It'll be extended, upgraded. The power grid will need, more and better systems, but I want to start with a pretty basic design, and we're just going to run off of burnables to begin with. So we're just going to use regular generators and start burning. We'll just start with coal or charcoal, whatever we have access to start generating all this power that we need. So the way I want this to work is we're going to have a series of generators, and they will... I don't like that placement. I'm going to need a wrench. I'm going to need a wrench. I don't have any copper. Alright. We're going to have a series of generators that we can feed with the burnables that will all send power into a centralized energy storage system, and then from that energy storage system we will send it out to the other buildings that may need it for using it, like macerating and furnaceizing. So I'm going to need a wrench. Started cooking some copper. There's some copper. I never remember which wrench recipe is which wrench. This is the one I need. Bronze. Okay. We'll do that. And I never remember. It's the tin and the copper goes like that. Okay. Need 2 of those. And then big fat Y. Wrench. Okay. I can go back over here. I probably should put a workbench over here inside the power plant, but we'll get there. We'll get there. For now, we're just going to do it the slow way. I don't have any wood on me. 1 plank. Awesome. Alright. Pshink. Okay. So let's see here. We want to be able to feed the generators. So we're going to have feed coming in the back of the generators, and then maybe they form into like a T. So we have feed coming in the buildings. They get fed into the system. So we'll have, we'll use scaffolding. We'll have a generator here, a generator here, a generator here. Power running up the back, right? And then with copper wire, we can go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 before we lose any power, which of course we want to eliminate inside of our power plant. So on top of that is where we can stick a battery box. So looks like I'm going to need some wood to make a bat box. I'll get that done. I'll see. I don't think I have enough iron to make any more generators. But I'll check. We'll see if I have any more. If we can make any more. But I'll get the cables ready. Whoa, lots of mobs. I'll get cables ready. I'll get the bat box ready. And we can start putting together the system. I'll be back then. Die, zombies! Ha ha ha! Oh, I have a sword. There we go. Alright, so I did have enough to make another generator. So now we've got 2 of those guys. Awesome. I also got everything that I needed to make a bat box. Ta-da! In case you guys are not incredibly familiar with bat boxes, the side with the dot on it, and the way I placed it, that makes the top, is the output. Everything else then becomes the input. So we're just going to knock these down. There we go. Knock that out. And I need some copper cable. I didn't make copper cable. You always need so much stuff in Feed the Beast. When you start industrializing, you use resources so quickly. You know, it's kind of crazy. There's such a high buy-in to start industrializing, but once you do, you can end up with so many more resources than you'll need once you get through to the really to the end game stuff. You can, whoops, I always push that, I always miss. Where'd my copper? Thrown on the floor. Perfect. It's exactly where I wanted it. Cooked up some charcoal, so we have a little bit to run the generators, fill up some charge. I need some more rubber. So we're going to do... Oh, I did it again. And that's going to throw my rubber on the floor. There. Okay. There's 3. Oops. I need to turn it into wire. And then wire with the rubber. And is that enough? 5. We only need 4 to hook them up and start running them. So it's going to be operational. So you guys have seen me build. You kind of know my methodology. But when you start building systems, whether it be in vanilla minecart or redstone systems, or in Feed the Beast, industrial or factorization, or whatever, any kind of system, it kind of changes the way you build a little bit, because the shape and the style of the building kind of has to work with the machine. So what you end up having to do, or well, at least what I end up doing, is I will kind of make a basic floor plan. That's why I said, oh, let's put it in a circle. And then I'll start building the system, and then I'll frame it and figure out what the shape of the building is going to be like and how things are going to work and whatever else. So yeah, so it ends up being just a little different, but it works out just the same in the end. So this is a pretty simple power plan. It's really nothing too crazy, but we are going to need a way to get in here. So let's make a door. So that'll be a door, perfect, right like this. And I am going to build this out of cobble for the time being, and we'll probably go through and add some more kind of nicer blocks to it. But the industrial city here, I'm not focusing as much on aesthetics as I am in the overworld, because it's an industrial city. What you do get if you go to an industrial plant of really almost any kind, they're almost all built out of the same material. They're all like concrete or iron or whatever. And then what really gives them the unique look that they have is the shapes that you use. So that's kind of what I am going to emulate here, is that I'm not so much worried about the materials, although we'll need to vary them from building to building, but I'm more worried about what the shape is going to look like for each of the builds. So you can see I'm kind of rounding this cap off. Each of the structures that we build here should hold a different shape, something that makes them unique, and that of course serves the purpose of the machinery that's inside of them. So that's kind of the idea. Whoops, I didn't want that there. Give me that back. So for this one, we're going to use just I ran out of cobble. Darn. I ran out of cobble. How are we doing here? Got power running in. We're good. We're all full up. Good, good. Nice. Doesn't take long to charge those just basic bat boxes. So this is going to be kind of our energy hut, just a little basic power plant. As we get more advanced types of powers that consume more area, we'll of course need to build bigger structures, but for the time being, that is going to provide plenty of power for what we'll be doing. Let's get some more cobble out. There we go. We can finish up the base structure. I'm going to have to start building some roads here. So, as long as we're almost done with this, since this is a pretty basic structure, this of course is it's a coal burning plant. It's a burning plant. We're going to need to constantly provide it with materials in order for it to continue to produce energy for us. So that begs the question, what are we going to be burning, right? We can of course burn coal, but that's a limited resource that you have to mine out of the ground. And I don't like the idea of having to mine a whole bunch of coal just to keep the energy flowing. So you could use charcoal, which of course comes from wood, and at least that's renewable, and that would work. But kill the scalies. Torch. If you didn't catch last episode, this is a bright world. We're in a cave though, so even though it looks bright, it's actually dark. So that's why all the torches are down. They don't provide any visual lighting because everything's visually lit, but they provide calculated lighting, which is what is used to consider whether or not mobs can spawn. Anyway. Where was I? Burning materials, right? Here's some coal. We're not going to burn coal. We're not going to burn charcoal. Charcoal could work. We could make charcoal work. But charcoal's really not that efficient. It's a pretty bad source of energy. Do I have it on me? No, of course not. So, oh, I got a bow. Neat. Now I have a bow. Awesome. And, we could use, some of the mods to where is it? There it is. To automate tree growth and tree farming and things like that. And we may eventually do that for wood, and because wood is used in a lot of recipes. But charcoal is really kind of a waste because you have to burn it once to turn it into charcoal, and then you have to burn the charcoal. And the burn time on charcoal, while the same as coal, isn't as good as other types of fuel. And I've kind of alluded to this before a while ago, is that I have that basic peat farm in the overworld. Peat produces 5,000 EU as to where coal only produces 4,000. So each unit of peat is better. And as we upgrade the system, you can turn it into bituminous peat, and that burns for 10,500 EU per item. So that's better. So we want to do peat. In addition, peat can power engines and a number of other things, but to do that we're going to need this peat bog, which means we need a thermionic fabricator. There's a lot of things involved. Anyway, that's where we need to be going. So with the basic power structure done, we're going to start the next structure, which will sit next to it, which will house the machines necessary to make the farms, because that's what we need next. Is we need to be able to make and power all the machines that are used to create all the stuff that you use to farm. Blue. Anyway, gotta collect some materials, and I'll be back in a minute. Alright guys, I've done all the boring crafting, and I'm ready to build the beginning of my farming systems. Now, it's kind of an odd situation because the forestry stuff, which is where all the farms come from, they don't need power. I mean, you could use electrical engines, but they use Minecraft joules, the MJ Minecraft joules, and they don't use the electrical units from industrial crafts. So you kind of end up not needing that, but we're using it to generate peat, which will go to that. So yeah, it's kind of an odd situation, but I'm gonna put my my workstation up here. Just kind of set it up here. It's gonna be a little bit of a different shape than what I've got down there, since every building needs to be a different shape in order to make it have a unique look to it. And we're using red cobblestone this time. It's not going to be humongous, pretty small. There's not a whole lot of machines that you need to use to craft this stuff. And eventually I'd love to go through and make it prettier, and also at the same time make it how do you say more automated, I guess. You know, because if I want to craft a thermionic fabricator, for example, I don't want to have to go through 5 million steps by hand. That's just crazy talk. Right? But for the meantime, we just are going to have to do it by hand because we don't have the tools yet to do it the automated way. So here's the way this will work. This is just going to be a small workspace. I'm going to have... Oh, that doesn't go there. These against the wall. So this is a thermionic fabricator, and this is a carpenter, both of which we will need. I made a couple Stirling engines, and I didn't make the levers, but that's easy enough. The levers, of course, control the engines being on and off, which will control whether or not these machines are running or not. And then, of course, I brought some charcoal to turn these guys on. Whew. So now, we're back to the peat bog, right? To make the peat bog, we need copper electron tubes, which are, of course, copper and a little bit of redstone in the thermionic fabricator. So that should be easy. Copper, a little bit of redstone, and run back to grab more copper. Grabbing more copper, be right back. Alright, so I fetted a little bit of glass. We've got our engine running, and this should heat up our glass and provide us with a few bronze tubes. While that's heating up, just make sure we're running here. Yep, it's running. You can see it stores up the energy, and then when it gets enough, it dumps it into the fabricator. So the fabricator should be warming up, and then here's this one, the carpenter. The carpenter we needed for the peat bog to make the circuit board, which is just redstone and of course the tin ingot. So I put all of my redstone in there. That was silly of me. Just redstone, which I believe we put in with the left clicking, not right clicking, and tin ingot. And we power that guy on. I think this one needs water to work. So we're going to turn that one off. We need water for him. So that should be heating up. It needs to get to a certain heat before the glass will melt, and then it can start crafting. So I need to get some water, which means I gotta go down there with a bucket. I don't think I have a bucket, actually. And here, anyway, I can go... Yep, let me go grab a bucket of water. Be right back. Silly me. I made 3 Stirling engines, and then I only set 2 up. Yeah. I made the 3rd one because the thermionic fabricator needs at least 2 joules to run, and I only gave it 1. The Stirling engines only create 1 joule. So now it's heating up. You can see it start to heat up a little bit here. Yeah, these should be outputting 1 each, 1 Minecraft joule a tick. And it needs the 2 from each one of these per tick to function. This guy was just missing some water, which we're just going to use this like that. And that should be enough water to make a basic circuit board. Oh, this needs fuel, of course, of which I'm out. Let's make sure we're generating enough. Yep, we're generating enough power to stock that up. And I need to get a little bit more coal, some more burnables, so that we can run our machine and get everything we need to make the peat bog. Blech. All this to make 1 lousy little machine. My goodness. I'm out of burnables. Alright, gotta farm more charcoal. Back in a minute. Alright, I've got tons of copper electron tubes, way more than I need. And there we go, just like that. Ta-da! All set and done. I'm going to lose a little bit of liquid glass here, but I'm not that worried about it. Not the end of the world. I now have everything to make a peat bog. going to go craft that. Now that we have all the machinery to craft all the parts, we're going to craft the peat bog and get everything together so we can set up the basic automatic peat system. I'll be back when I'm ready. Alright, I have everything we need for the peat farm. Oh, these mobs. I really need to start lighting this area up. Oof. I'm kind of waiting. I know I put down a bunch of torches, but I've kind of been waiting a little bit for wrath lamps, because they make lighting up large areas so much easier. Anyway, I think we're going to put this farm over here. I'm not going to stress about clearing it out since the machines will do it for me. Just going to kind of stick it in the corner here, and I'm going to then let the machines go to town, clearing out the area. I think I want it right over here. It'll be relatively close to our plant that will end up burning the materials, and but you know, not inside the plant, because generating peat is a different process than generating power. So of course we're going to have this over here. I didn't mention this, but you do need the turbary as well. So yeah, both. I'm going to power this off of a peat-fired engine. The reason is because I'm generating peat, so I don't have to send it coal or charcoal from somewhere else. I can just use the peat. I got a little bit of peat from back home at Humalia Polynium to start the system. And I made some stone and wooden conductive pipes. Wood to get the power into the system, conductive pipes here to run the system. And this may not run at peak efficiency, but it's not that big a deal to me, to be honest. So should be good. We just need a lever to control the master on off. I think. No, I'm a little concerned. I don't. It's a little close for comfort. I might need that space later, so I'm just going to put that upright, and then we'll put a block next to it with like that. There we go. So it's now going to generate power, which should run our peat bog. We're going to feed it some bog earth to start, and that's good, great, and grand and going. The turbary then digs it up, which then we'll put it into. That's it. I'm finally breaking down. I'm building a chest. I'm building a workbench over here, so I don't have to run back. That will put it into our chest. This is our output, and that should work. I have an axe. It broke. Okay, no axe. We'll punch this to death. That should work. Generating power into the wood conductive pipe, through the stone conductive pipe. Run the system. Yes. I wonder if it's starting like back there in that corner where you can't see. Oh yeah, see, it's running. Here we go. Yep, you can see it. It's going. I'm probably going to help this dig it out, just so it goes faster. But I could technically leave this. I also want the materials, so as long as it's running, I might as well take advantage of it. But anyway, that's all for us today. Thanks for watching. I'm Mondef, and I'll see you guys next time. Oh, I forgot. I wanted to show you guys this. It's working! We're all up and running. Had to go make a bunch more peat. So we've got, or bog, I'm sorry, bog earth. So I went and made a whole bunch more bog earth and brought it over. We'll have to automate the bog earth production, so that'll need to be done. But it's filling up, so I forgot how to dig this huge channel all the way to the 10 blocks up. The stupid part is it has to like dig that channel, but like if I go put blocks here, it doesn't care. So anyway, we'll have to build this in next time. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.